It's the ultimate chase. The Hot 18 band trying to escape the MPs. Can the 18 do it? You can do it. Now you take control in new 18 action racing. Try to lose it. Spin the van through daredevil U-turns, but they'll catch you. So you pour it on and send the 18 flying over the double cross jump. 18 action racing with U-turn cars and double cross jump from Tyco, of course.
Some of the roughest roads aren't in the mountains. They're in big cities, perhaps even your city. So we asked Brad McCabe to drive this Ford Ranger over some of the meanest streets this city can dish out. But this stock Ranger is built tough, with twin I-beam front suspension to handle those cavernous potholes, bone-jarring bumps, and repair sections. And there's a new fuel-injected 4-cylinder engine, or V6 power, unbeaten by any small V6 pickup. Nice driving, Brad.
We work well together. My Ford Ranger and me.
The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
Within these walls, a family began a new life together. The happiest times Colette and Jeff McDonald ever knew. Within these walls, it all came to an end. Now, if these walls could only talk, the truth would be known.
I did not murder my wife and children.
Carl Malden, Eva Marie Saint, Andy Griffith, and Gary Cole in the movie Some People Don't Want You to See, the most controversial true crime story of the decade, based on today's bestseller, Fatal Vision. Next.
Friday, he conquered an empire with his sword. She conquered him with her bare hands. Conan the Barbarian, Friday.
In the aftermath of the Santa Barbara earthquake, love and hope survive amidst old hatreds. But what new secrets are yet to be revealed? Santa Barbara, weekdays.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Colorals. Here is Bob Kerr, NBC News.
Good evening. In Chile, the Archbishop of Santiago attacked the current crackdown by the military government in a letter read by priests during Sunday Mass. On the eve of talks in Mexico between U.S. and Nicaraguan officials, that country's foreign minister accused the Reagan administration of whipping up hysteria against Nicaragua. Nicaraguan leader Daniel Ortega has called for a meeting with President Reagan, but today a White House spokesman said no. Now this.
Help keep your world looking smooth and colorful. Wear Colorals.
7 search planes flew over a wide stretch of ocean off New Jersey and Delaware today. Still no sign of a fishing trawler and 9-man crew missing since Wednesday. I'm Bob Kerr in Washington. More news later on this NBC station.
Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. That phrase was first heard by Americans in 1918 from a little old company named Sears Roebuck. Today at Coleman Taylor Transmission, we still think it's a pretty good idea. So we feel it's an honor to be the first in the transmission industry to add to our warranty a money-back guarantee for the first 30 days on any service we perform. At Coleman Taylor, common sense customer relations is a way of life.
Data, voice, business information in all its forms. Now, to move it, to manage it, there's SCB Essex Service, using our sophisticated electronic switching centers to handle all your communications, custom designed for your business, with no big equipment worries and virtually maintenance-free. SCB Essex Service, only from South Central Bell. We're putting the business of communications in a whole new light.
Tough day for the Cowboys. You'll find out why at 10.
And now, the movie Some People Don't Want You to See, the most controversial true crime story of the decade, based on today's bestseller, Fatal Vision.
Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. Yeah, I'm digging those retro commercials and blasts from the past, man. Maybe I'm going through a midlife thing. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. And you know, it's better than just looking at my thing with the weird StreamYard music and whatever. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing from now on. Or at least until I think of something else. Anyways, guys, yeah, no real updates on any of the cases that we're talking about. It's you know, I'm gonna read something in a little bit, but we're just gonna have some fun today. Nothing real pressing. Just we're gonna, you know, do the usual. Just figure, you know, everybody had I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving, by the way. I hope everybody got to spend time with loved ones and eat really good food and just enjoy the company and revel in the gratitude for the things in your life that are worthy of being grateful for. So I had a really nice Thanksgiving. It was very modest, but I got to spend it with people that I love, and we had a somewhat traditional dinner, but it was still very good nevertheless, and the company was good. So, I have not been covering the Michael Vaughn case, Grace. There's a lot of channels that have been though, so you'll really good channels that have been covering actually. So I think I would look into Chasing Truth first and foremost on that. Of course, 10 to Life. So yeah, there's definitely some good channels out there that have been covering that case. But before I get into the idiots that are in my thumbnail, I have to point out something that came into my Facebook feed. One of my dear friends posted this. And I haven't been the same since I saw this. Hold on.
Pregnant with that look, mírale, fumando un pinche cigarro, tirando gang signs, looking like he just left a Nicaraguan prison, looking to pound all the puss. ¿Qué va a hacer el güey? ¿Qué va a hacer el vato? No digas que he's gonna ride a bull. Güey, espérate, güey.
Dude.
Espérate, hold on to the bull, güey. Le vale verga, güey. This is con el pinche cigarro todavía en la pinche boca, güey. Le vale verga todo. Get out of there, rodeo clowns. You know, güey. He's just
Dude.
like, give it all to me. Give it all to me, bull. Oh, no, ya se va a caer, güey. No, he's still holding on. Oh, no, I thought he was done for. This is the greatest athletic achievement I have seen in my life.
It is.
Bro.
It is.
Oh, this is better than Kobe's 81-point game, than Usain Bolt's 100-meter dash. Right?
It's amazing.
Breaking all sorts of physics with some pinche man. Este vato se mira que tira chingos de pipe where he just got half of the state.
Let me pause this real quick. Okay, let me explain something to you people. Okay, what that dude just did with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, never drops the cigarette, by the way. At any point, does this dude ever drop his cigarette out of his mouth? A. B, he's got a broken forearm, it looks like. He's got a cast on his forearm. Okay, then he gets on a bull without a harness, without anything to hold on to, nothing. Okay? What this dude just did was absolutely minimize a Southern cowboy pastime, an American cowboy pastime. He just minimized it completely. Like these people they bust their asses their whole lives to be able to sit on a bull, hold on to a harness, and just last 8 seconds. 8 seconds. What this dude just did, okay? I'm going to play it again. Okay, what this dude just did. That's not camera tricks. That dude got on there half-ass naked, cigarette hanging out of his mouth. I don't know how old this is. All I know is what I'm looking at right here. This dude just completely and totally destroyed the sport of rodeo. Totally. Like, it's done. After I've seen this, I'm like, okay, this guy just stepped it up a notch. Now you all have to live up to what this dude just did. Because that shit was fucking amazing. One more time.
The stadium pregnant with that look. You know, like, fumando un pinche cigarro, tirando gang signs, looking like he just left a Nicaraguan prison, looking to pound all the puss. ¿Qué va a hacer el güey? ¿Qué va a hacer el vato? No digas que he's gonna ride a bull. Pues espérate, güey. Espérate, hold on to the bull, güey. Le vale verga, güey. This is con el pinche cigarro todavía en la pinche boca, güey. Le vale verga a todos. Get out of there, rodeo clowns. You know, güey. He's just like, give it all to me. Give it all to me, bull.
He loves it. He loves it.
No, he's still holding on. Oh, no,
how is that possible?
This is the greatest athletic achievement I have seen in my life.
How is that possible?
Oh, this is better than Kobe's 81-point game, than Usain Bolt's 100-meter dash. Right? This is breaking all sorts of physics with su pinche madre. Este vato se mira que tira chingo.
There has to be. What's up, Grandmaster Sid Sofos? Thank you. England 0, US versus USA 0. We're all still friends. Is that the soccer game? Yeah, that's right. Soccer. Okay, not football. Soccer. Yes. Is that what that is? Looking like he left a Nicaraguan prison. Absolutely. That shit right there was mind-blowing. There's gotta be, he had to have some sort of trick. Some sort of, I don't know, man. I dated a bull rider back in high school. I wish I still knew him. I sent him the video. He put a lot of work to bull ride. I think he'd be, who wouldn't be? Dude, that shit was crazy. That was insane. Okay? Dude. Footy, get out of here with that. All right. So I ran across a clip channel. I've seen them before, but they're on a roll lately. Blessed are the clip channels, people. This one, mostly what I'll be playing is from Couch Clips. And Couch Clips is awesome. Totally fair, not picking sides, just showing bullshit for what it is. Oh God. Sorry, I just saw that this idiot was going live. Now I haven't actually watched this one, but we're gonna go over the ones I did watch too, but this one says apology letter to Chief Hadley.
So she bought that to show that she was so proud of it too. Can't afford to get a billboard or any kind of signage for her missing grandson. But exactly. Couldn't even hang up one of the ones she stole from y'all. You know, that's sad. Yeah. You know, I mean, if you're going to steal them, at least hang them up. Yeah, you know, I mean, that was from the public. That was supposed to be for the public, for Quentin, not her. Yeah, I agree. And we spent lots of money. And God knows what they're going to do with those things. They probably, you know what the worst part about it is that they're the kind of people that probably sell those toys.
Dude, I swear, again, if you made a drinking game of Betty every time she mentioned how much something costs money, we spent a lot of money. Yeah, you would die. Like, you would fucking die.
toys. They probably won't even donate the toys to, Toys for Tot or anything like that. They're probably going to sell those toys and use that money for God knows what off the backs of the people of that community. That memorial was not for Quentin.
No, it was not. And y'all were even kind enough to cease fire for a moment and show that y'all are above them as well. Mm-hmm. And you and Dolly, I don't know if Olivia was there yet. I know Molly was
Listen to the twisted logic here. The twisted logic here is they're acting like they've been victimized after going out to Savannah, traveling from Florida to Savannah to yell and harass and cuss at children and talk about a baby killer living in their neighborhood. Dude, if somebody was screaming baby killer through a bullhorn at my kid, I would probably do something. My instincts would probably kick in. Like, I remember, I don't know if I've told you guys this story. When I used to be a bit rougher around the edges, and when my son was first born, this was in the early 2000s. This was right around 9/11, and I took him to the hospital. His mom dropped him off. She was going to work. I didn't have to work till the evening, so she dropped him off. And we did this every day. Saved us a lot of money on daycare, and and I got to spend a lot of time with him this way. And she drops him off. She says, "Hey, he threw up this morning. So just keep an eye out, keep a little extra attention, because I don't know if it's going to happen again." Sure enough, she left, and then he puked again. And every time I gave him any water, anything, Pedialyte, anything, he would just vomit it right back up. And then I started to get really worried. I started to get worried about him dehydrating because he wasn't keeping literally anything down. And he was just old enough to where the only words that he knew were water, daddy, mommy, right? And so I take him to the hospital. It's not an emergency, really. So but I take him to the hospital, the nearest one. And this is in Hollywood, Florida. And I take him in to the emergency room, and they're like, well, because I was like, well, we need a pediatrician, and they were like, well, we don't have a pediatrician on call at this hospital. And immediately I was like, what? So you have an emergency room. So you're saying that your help is limited to adolescents and adults? You can't help children? If there's an emergency and they come in here, you don't have the staff for that? Is that supposed to be a joke? Like, I would think that a pediatrician on call would be one of the priorities that any hospital would have. When at that point, I'm just like, whatever, what can you do to help him? And then they're like, well, we put an IV on him, make sure he doesn't dehydrate. Cool, fine. So he's just a baby. And honestly, he's about at that age, he's about Quentin Simon's age. Maybe a little younger, a few months younger than that, just a few. And the lady, they're like, okay, so I'm there with him, I'm holding him, and I lay him on the little table or the bed or whatever, and then they, the lady, the nurse, puts the IV needle, and this thing is huge. It's like a 12 gauge needle, very, very thick. And she she's trying to find his vein. You know, he's a baby, so there's a lot of baby fat. I get it. But you know, this is something that you should be trained for. And she just kept sticking this needle, this IV needle, in my son's arm, and he's screaming. And he's in excruciating pain. You know, I mean, she keeps missing his vein and then keeps trying, and he's screaming, and he's looking at me, going, "Daddy." Basically, like, help me. Like, why are you doing this to me? Because I am a culprit. I am, in his eyes right now, I'm in on this. I'm holding him down while they do this. And that realization hit me immediately. It hit me immediately. And I go to the nurse and I say, "Ma'am, I understand that this is difficult. There's a lot of pressure, but I just need you to calm down, breathe, okay? But I have to tell you that the next time you put this needle in my son's arm, you're going to put it in his vein. You're going to get it right, because if you miss again, it's going in your eye." And I meant it. I meant it. Now, I probably wouldn't have done it, of course, but she damn sure got that needle in his vein that time. But I was, the thought of my son screaming like that, you know, and looking at me, because if he could talk, he would be asking, "Daddy, why are you doing this to me?" You know, and it just put a switch, just protective mode went in, just took over. Yeah, I was already in protective mode because I had to take him to the hospital because he wasn't keeping anything down. But at that point, it was just like overdrive protective mode, you know? So I can't imagine being a father of a small child. Maybe in this day and age, maybe times were a little different back then, but hearing someone like Betty and Dolly screaming, cussing, calling women whores through a bullhorn, and baby killing sluts and blah, blah, blah. And my kid is hearing this in their own neighborhood, where if they happen to be out, you know, they have to go by that house and think that's where the baby killer lives and not feel safe in their own neighborhood. That would make me angry. So I just find it incredible that these women have the audacity to act as though they were victimized in some way, shape, or form by being down there and doing what they did.
Weren't there yet, but you and Dolly helped them move that and get set up that tent and all that, and then for them to do,
well, because they're despicable people,
evil, self-centered people. And you know, I now through those text messages of Diana's, I did not
self-centered people, she says. Look at Spanky here in the middle. Couch Clips is hilarious.
Not get when she's saying I'm not protecting Leilani like people think. I didn't think that she. It doesn't sound like she really is. Like I said, it's all about her and protecting her and who, you know, how people perceive her.
Yeah.
But considering that she was, you know, flipping the script and then going over there and putting out all this stuff, pointing towards either Danny or the babysitter, I'm wondering, what exactly was she going to do? That was she going to accuse the babysitter of doctoring the photos?
Facts.
Well, that's what she said. I mean, even in that text message, you know, and that's why I wanted to make sure.
Oh, that's right. She did say that.
What was, you know, even the stuff that I had picked up, that one spot on his face, that was smudged spaghetti. It wasn't an old bruise. The one on his leg was a shadow, but the one on the arm was a legit bruise, and we saw an entire handprint on the arm.
Yes, that means that someone grabbed him like.
So, but here's the thing about that. What we should do is go over that some, because I haven't actually watched it in its entirety, but the babysitter was on her panel, and she cleared some things up. Of course, she embellished a bunch of shit, said there was bruises on Quentin's face when it was spaghetti sauce. The babysitter clears this up, but then she says that the arm, there's a bruise. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to protect Billy Joe, especially not Leilani. You know, I think they're both trash. I think Billy Joe is just as much trash as Leilani, if I'm being completely honest. I think we all feel that way. But it's not, they're not accomplishing anything. You know, law enforcement's on it. And I don't know so much about the babysitter, but I'll tell you what, though. The babysitter's credibility as a person is fucked with me. Totally fucked. The babysitter's credibility, any credibility that she had. I mean, she was walking out and she fed them sandwiches. Instead of just being like, look, I don't want nothing to do with none of this. I just want law enforcement to do what they do and find Quentin. And I hope this baby gets peace. And that's it. That's what a scrupulous person in her position would have done. But instead, she decided to stir the pot and contribute to this ridiculous bullshit without actually contributing to it, like on camera. But then she blew it by showing up on her panel and doing a so-called interview. I can't even say that with a straight face in regards to Bullhorn Betty.
Like that. To leave fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
I know when a friend of mine died, she was choked, and there was fingerprints, just like that.
The babysitter.
It's sad, and Billy Joe's acting like
the babysitter fed Bullhorn Betty and the hecklers out their sandwiches.
She didn't know any of this was going on. That this was just I'm telling you, within 48 hours of being in that town, we knew every little detail of the comings and goings from that house. Within 48 hours, we weren't just out there. I mean, it looked like we were just out there talking on our phones the whole time, but people don't realize when those cameras went off, the work that was being done behind the scenes to get the information that we had was intense. It was overwhelming.
But
it was a lot of
the
work.
cameras were
hours.
Cameras were never off, Strangler. The cameras were never off. That's the whole point. You were live 8-9 hours a day. So you're telling me after dark you were doing interviews and research, but interviews that you never aired, you never posted. Really?
It was talking to a lot of people. I mean, if I could tell you, Dolly and I spoke to 100 some odd people, that is almost an understatement.
And she wouldn't have had the balls to go to those people like she did.
That's a fucking lie.
And went off on Diana.
Oh, she didn't have the balls to come step to me like that. She walks up to me all calm. I'm like, put my hands up.
Oh, when she went and got in Olivia's face, I just thought.
You see how proud she is of herself right there? Talking about how she went and tried her, and like she was basically looking for trouble. She was trying to antagonize Billy Joe in order for Billy Joe to put her hands on her. And then she'd have some sort of justification to sad fish and play victim and use it to get a bunch more donations from her idiot following, because her following, make no mistake, are made up of a bunch of fucking idiots. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Anybody who would give this asshole money has got to be a fucking moron, a bona fide schmuck.
Just thought, oh, yeah, Olivia better be glad I'm not her mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and that.
Well, you know, it is so funny because even with that going on, mom was in reaching hands. I mean, you could see.
I know.
I agree, Cherry. I agree.
Away. She was just right there by her daughter. But I can tell you, let that lady put a hand on you. You wouldn't even see anything. You just see mom standing around. I can already see it now. Like I see you, Whitley. I can already see it now. So, Ruby, any final words? I'm going to get through this.
The saddest thing about the Quentin Simon case, and I will be as bold to say this: the saddest thing about the Quentin Simon case is the person in Quentin's existence that even remotely cares about him, in my personal opinion, is Chief Hadley. That is fucking sad. That is the one person that I've seen actually shed real tears. That is the one person that I've actually seen do anything for this child's benefit. And it's the chief of police, a stranger. It's sad.
this, and then I gotta start getting back to
no, I'm just thankful that he has been found. God bless his little soul. I'm glad she's in jail. She's not getting out. I'm going to, call a ceasefire with Chief Hadley. He said they've got a strong case against her.
Yeah.
And
I definitely have ceased with Chief Hadley. I started calling him Chief Hadley again instead of no charge.
Wow. Like, the one person in this entire scenario that did something productive towards this child. He explained this from the beginning. Idiot, paralegal who knows the law so well that you've been spewing off all this time. I know the law. I know the law. I'm the one who would present the case to an attorney. I'm the one who collected all the evidence and gave it to the attorney. No, because if you ever did that, then you would understand how it works. You would understand how that evidence got to you and the process that it takes to get it to you if you were a paralegal. But you're not, because everything that you say is totally counter to what a paralegal would know. I would not be surprised if she was just a secretary, and she probably sucked at it and got fired. This is clearly somebody who has no she has no inclination of holding down a job at all. And e-begging for shingles on her roof. Exactly. My roof is gone. No, it's not. It's like a couple of fucking little what are you talking about?
I will send him a letter. I don't know. It's going to be part apology. It's going to be an apology for certain factors, but it will not be an apology for everything I've done because I'm proud of the work I did. There are a few things that, I probably shouldn't have done, but I believe things happen for a reason.
Well, hey.
Oh man, hold on.
I probably shouldn't have done, but everything I've done because I'm proud of the work I did. There are a few things that, I probably shouldn't have done, but I believe things happen for a reason.
Well,
things that, I probably shouldn't have done, but I believe things happen for a reason.
Well,
Okay. Stop. That's like if Daryl Brooks stood up, because I think at some point he said something very similar to that. Am I proud of what I did? Should I have done it? No. Some of you believe I should never have done that. But things happen for a reason. Like that's your rationale, really. That's your rationale for doing shitty, fucked up things. Is things happen for a reason. How about the reason? I know the reason. The reason is that you're a fucking asshole. That's the reason. Sometimes things happen for a reason. The stuff that you do, Betty, it's because you're an asshole. That's the reason. Cracked it.
Hey, maybe he was just kind of taking his anger out on y'all.
So that's Couch Clips. Make sure to subscribe to Couch Clips. Hold on. We're going to... Now, this was posted yesterday or the day before. I believe early yesterday afternoon. So, hold on, I gotta mute this because she's gonna be playing music that we'll just look at this fucking ghoul dance. So what she's doing is she's saying it's my birthday. It's my birthday. here's my thing, okay? And I know a lot of you guys do it. I just blow it off because I'm just grateful that you're here. But let me tell you guys how I feel about, because I've explained this before, but I think it's been a couple years since the last time I explained it. But let me give you an idea of what I think about birthdays. You're not special, okay? Everybody has one. Everyone has a birthday. Okay. Now, that's not in the sense that I talk about where I say, you know, there's a 400 trillion to 1 chance of you actually being in existence, being a thing. That's amazing. And that's a great thing to be grateful for. Sure. But a birthday, you know? So now when you're a kid, I get it. You know what I mean? Kids should be made to feel special because a kid is still in that stage where they don't understand why they're even fucking here. Okay. They don't even know, you know, it's like you treat kids with love and respect because they never had any fucking choice in being here. That was two horny adults that so egotistically brought a new life into this world and now has to be responsible for. But that kid has no say in that. That kid has absolutely no say in it. So yes, it makes sense to throw birthday parties, you know, and buy them presents and show your appreciation for, hey, thanks for being born. Thanks for being alive. Thanks for being a thing. You know, so I think that's cool. But once you get to a certain age, man, you know, and you celebrate your birthday and you act like you should get special treatment, those fucking people that want special treatment because it's their birthday, so they think that just because they were born, they get one day out of the year where everyone has to kiss their ass and they get to treat everybody else like shit. And no, not with me. Yeah, that shit doesn't fly with me ever. So if you're a grown up and you're sitting there going, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, I'm like, I already know what type of person you are. And I don't like you. Birthdays are gross, dude. Like, listen. And even when I was a kid, okay, I liked my birthday, you know, because I liked getting presents. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I liked getting presents, you know, you know, cake is great, but I would never, if I went to another kid's birthday party, I never ate the cake because I was just grossed out. I was absolutely grossed out. Okay. There's this tradition. First of all, you've got to sit there all awkward, right? And everybody sings one of the worst songs that have ever been written, the worst melodies ever, and they all sing it completely out of key. And you just have to sit there and wait until it's done. I'd rather listen to the Star Spangled Banner and stand there quietly out of respect because I'm a patriot. So yeah, but that over Happy Birthday any day. Happy Birthday is a ridiculously horrible fucking song and I can't stand it. And so after the birthday singing, this kid, snot running down his fucking nose, fucking germs from school and all the other kids and all this shit, decides that, or is pressured to, because it's tradition, to blow all over the fucking cake and spit all over the fucking cake. And then everybody just digs into it and eats it. It's really weird. It's a very strange tradition. I don't understand it. Never understood it. Even as a kid, I did not understand this. That I just watched a little snot-nosed, germ-infested, ankle-biting kid fucking go all over something that I'm supposed to be about to eat. Everybody is about to eat this. And everybody claps. Hey, hey, hey. You know, no, dude, it's gross. It's fucking gross. So when I see an adult such as this one going, it's my birthday, I just shake my head. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I mean, dude. Okay. Okay, it's like she's listening to something, but I want the music to stop. There it
And
is.
I don't know
Okay,
why, because
good.
we shouldn't be spending money because we got a lot going on. December 16th or 17th, half the kids will be here. And then in June, the other half of the kids will be here. So that's exciting. So Mark's going to go across in December there after his COVID shot, pick up the girls, bring them back here. And then we've got our...
Now, I'm not one to judge. I don't know their situation. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, why don't their kids live with them? None of my business. That's not what I'm here to criticize them for.
Dates, but all I'll say is January, I will be in Savannah, staying with Billy and the family for however long till they kick me out. But I've got about 11 days I can spend in Savannah. So
wait.
However long, I will be in Savannah, staying with Billy and the family for however long till they...
Okay. So she's planning on traveling to Savannah, Georgia, and staying with Billy Joe indefinitely until they kick her out, she says. So she's planning on going to Savannah and riding the couch of a woman who basically simply filed for an eviction to have all of the kids who she took custody of from the mother, who's now in jail for killing one of them. She's going to go ride her couch for, 11 days or, however long until she decides to kick her out, she says. Why? For what? What are you going out there for? See, this is what I'm talking about. Then these people, these drama channels, they decide to manipulate, and they find like the low life people. Because Billy Joe, let's face it, I don't feel uncomfortable calling her a low life because she's a fucking meth head. She's clearly a fucking meth head. She's got drug charges. That whole house is just toxic for children. And here she is talking about having her kids come be with her, and then her plan is to go and ride the couch of a woman who is being crucified by the public for, and justifiably so, for leaving a child who she took custody of in the care of the person that she took custody from. Obviously, the only way that you would actually win that case in court is if the mother signed over custody and relinquished her rights as a parent. That would be one way. Another way is Billy Joe would have had to prove to a judge that Leilani was an unfit mother. The only way that you're ever going to be able to take a child from their mother, okay, in this system, the only way is if you could prove to the court that the mother is unfit. Not that you're more fit. It doesn't matter. A guy could be a millionaire, right? A guy could be a millionaire, have nannies on call and working around the clock and never have to work and be there all day himself. A dad could do that. But if the mom is making ends meet by working 2 jobs, and the child is fine, the judge is never going to take that child away from its mother, ever. So what I'm guessing is, y'all are killing me in this chat about the couch. What I'm guessing is that Billy Joe managed to prove to a judge that Leilani was an unfit mother, or Leilani just didn't give a fuck and signed over the kids. So I mean, but this is the person who left Quentin in their care. And then there's the story of the babysitter and her 16-year-old daughter. Apparently, the babysitter would leave Quentin with her 16-year-old daughter. Can't say I approve of that, but would leave her with the 16-year-old daughter. And at one point, the 16-year-old daughter found both of the kids in the pool and were very alarmed. And then they pulled two of the kids out. I think there's three kids, but two of the kids. But all of a sudden, this lady is her best friend. Am I shocked? No, not at all. But just looking at her just tells me everything I need to know.
Until they kick me out, but I've got about 11 days I can spend in Savannah. So we're doing that. And
and what these creators do is they end up making friends with these people. To a certain degree, like I can understand, like if it's a mother or father of a missing child and they're not suspected in any way, shape, or form. They're just simply victims. I could see if a YouTuber decided to speak to them and then a friendship naturally develops. That's understandable. I wouldn't judge for that, but that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is clear. This is somebody who is using a chess piece, basically an accessory in the true crime drama community, in the Krama community, to hurt another YouTuber, to try to one up that YouTuber. So you have her basically just trying to take on Betty and take on MGL, and she's trying to build her channel by causing a bunch of bullshit ruckus and beef. And now what she's done is she's using Billy Joe to do that, and basically having this sham of a friendship, when what she's going to end up doing is completely turning on her, and it's going to just be another shit show. And the fact is I don't care. In any other case, I probably would, like when this type of shit was going on with the Wells, I was like, oh God, it was really disgusting to me. But what she's doing here is the same thing, but this is a person, Leilani, Billy Joe. These are people that I just don't honestly give a fuck about. Whatever happens. As a matter of fact, I think that these two are two peas in a pod. I think they're both fucking druggy fucks. And I think that once they get down there, they're just going to do all the meth together. That's absolutely what I think is going to be going down in Savannah. Cher and Billy Joe just meth the fuck out, crawling around on a carpet. Digging holes in the backyard for no reason. Totally.
So tonight we'll do like that. I've been adding stuff to my wish list for the house. Like we need new pots and pans and should invest in a carpet shampoo.
What are you fucking moving in? So she's put up a wish list for Billy Joe's house for pots and pans. What, did they not have pots and pans there? No wonder the kids got fucking taken.
Carpet shampoo or stuff like that, because I wish I could invite all y'all over and have like a real housewarming. I've never had a housewarming party before either, but that's what I'm gonna do. People want to call me a e-beggar. Those are the same people that are screaming and demanding and calling their followers bitches and demanding that they pay me now. We got a lot, you guys. We got three.
I mean, she's right. Like there's e-beggars out there that are calling her an e-beggar. She's not wrong.
Beds to buy, stuff to make dressers, nightstands. We got a lot going on, but it's gonna be so awesome with all of it.
Okay, it's for her house. What the fuck kind of ceiling is that, by the way? What's going on with her ceiling? Can y'all see that? I've never seen a ceiling like that. I feel like that's a ceiling for yeah, this looks like a sublet. Which, and I'm not hating on that. I'm just looking, you know, but it looks like a sublet, like somebody just converted a part of their house to rent out. I've lived in many of those. The rent's cheap. Usually I can like haggle with the down payment. So yeah, I'm just making an observation. I'm not like criticizing.
All of the kids here. It's gonna be so fun. Wait till you guys see.
It looks padded, right?
No more protesters there, no. But thank God they won't be there when I'm there, because that would have been bad. Now I can just focus whatever in that time while I'm there that they need help on or help with. I can do that. I can help them with whatever their needs are.
Well, good for them. That's
I'm
good.
not sure. Somebody sent me this.
I'm glad.
People send me packages of things, and I don't, when I'm just laying around the house and stuff, I don't dress up. I don't use them. But there is sometimes I do enjoy covering up Mr. Sheriff.
Imagine being so greedy for gifts that you don't mind having your address out there. Like the idea of my current address being out there scares the shit out of me. I just don't want, and the truth is I don't want material things too much, man. Like I'm not a person with a lot of stuff. Like seriously, you could, like, if I were to move, you could load all of my belongings in the back of a small Ford Ranger pickup truck in one trip, and that would be it. And I'll even leave shit behind if I have to. I hate moving. I hate it.
Give me a hickey. I told him to give me a hickey.
Oh my, what?
Just wanted to feel young today. Hickey. I told him I do enjoy covering up Mr. Sheriff. Give me a hickey. I told him to give me a hickey. Just wanted to feel young today. And then I decided
a hickey makes you feel young. Why don't you just wear a fucking diaper while you're at it? Like, dude, okay, let me explain something again. Nothing. Like if I'm with someone and they leave a hickey on me, like I won't even give you the chance to do it. Like I can tell when it's happening. You know what I mean? Like you could feel someone sucking on your neck. First of all, as a lover, you're just doing it wrong. If you're just sitting there sucking on somebody's fucking neck, you're doing it all wrong. You're don't, like, what are you doing? Stop. Like I could feel that immediately. Okay. And secondly, my response to that partner would be, what are you, fucking 12? Like, what are you doing? Because, I mean, seriously, the only purpose that a hickey served, that a hickey serves, is for a 7th grader, tops, by the way, a 7th grader walking around in school with a hickey on their neck. And they're usually the kind of person that you look at and you just go, oh, this guy, fuck. You know, but the whole purpose that it serves is so that a 7th grader can go around and go, hey, look, everybody, I'm moderately sexually active, even though I wouldn't know what to do if I were in that position yet. But this is like, hickeys are what happened before people actually go all the way. Like they're not ready for it yet. That's literally, it's a pre-adolescent thing to do. Okay. You might as well pick your nose and eat your boogers. It's ridiculously childish and immature. Like ridiculously. I nothing would ever make me more mad than being with a grown woman and she leaves a hickey on my neck, I'm going to be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, the only way I could see that happening if I was just so fucking inebriated and I didn't know what was going on, but I don't still, like, I can feel like that's weird. What are you doing? You're just sucking on my neck. What are you doing? Like that right there. Yep. Yeah, I'm not calling you again. That's when I'm like, okay, this is not somebody that I'm going to engage further with. The sexual chemistry is not there. It's not going to happen. It's just, yeah. If you are even trying to do that, I know everything I need to know about you sexually, and this isn't going to work between us. Sorry. So that tells me all I need to know about her, who actually asked to have her life partner put a hickey on her.
I decided, you know what? I haven't been to a nail salon in forever. So I am going to be doing something purple and blue with my nails to always keep it in my mind and memory.
Yep.
Yummy birthday present. Yes. Okay. Oh, let me show you. Okay. I was showing you. Hold on. I got sidetracked. Okay. Hold on. Yes.
Yeah. That's another. Yeah. That's
I'm just
another
so
thing.
excited.
Abusive shitbags do that too. Abusive, possessive, insecure shitbags do that shit. So that, you know, that's why they'll leave bruises on your legs and shit like that. So that if you cheat on them, you know, somebody's going to see them, and it's the hopes that you'll look unattractive to them or look trashy. That's what abusive dirtbags fucking do.
Excited that I have my hormone therapy tablets I'm on grew me boobs. So girls, you don't have to actually get breast implants. You just need a really good push-up bra that stays at the bottom of your drawer that you never wear, but like once a year. And then hormones that help you get a little bit bigger boobs with your push-up bra. And then you might actually look.
Oh my God.
Like female. Like, you know, I always wanted breast implants, but not because I just wanted to be able to, you know, wear a shirt like this. That Mr. Shirt. What is with these buttons? I don't know. I don't care about the buttons, but I like this right now. What's going on?
What's with these fucking idiots in their tits, dude? Like, why is everything about their tits? Dude, what if I were to fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, what would you think of me if I were to stand up and start fucking, like, grabbing my junk in front of the camera? You guys would be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You are sick fuck. What are you doing? Like, what if I you know what I mean? I don't understand these people and how they think. Like, and people give her money. Like, there's just no way. Like, yeah, what I mean, what is that? If I just stood up and started fucking, yeah, you know, I took a lot of zinc and, you know, so my shit got bigger and blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, fucking hormones. Yeah, I got a penis pump, you know, got a penis pump. Took a growth pill, you know, and a penis pump. Did the trick. That's all you need. You guys would be like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? Like,
hey. Like, oh shit. Ooh, we need music, right? Oh, $5 for a banger, because I'm gonna lose my
childish as fuck, bro. Who fucking shows off their fucking weed nuggets like that, bro? Like, who does that? You know who does that? 10th graders. She just moved up a few grades. 10th graders do that. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, man. Oh, that shit stinks, Joe. That shit stinks. Ridiculous, bro.
I'll lose my monetization, but I don't lose my super chats. $5 for a banger, y'all. Yes, voices behind the wall boobs. And they're not stuffed. They're not toilet paper in there. It's my boobs.
Oh, God, please stop it.
No, I haven't drank, but I still have some Goldschlager. I might take a shot today, but I don't know.
Goldschlager. Really? Okay. Yeah. So you are fucking 12. Who the fuck? Yeah. In a year, she'll graduate to Fireball.
But y'all, this is weed though. Like they ain't kidding around.
Oh my God, bro.
I wish I had a scale, but I got it's it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I grew my boobs with heart. Well, and when you're healthy, as you guys know, with my teeth and everything, Angie.
Exactly, dude.
I know. I'm 39 years old, which I never thought I would see. Thanks for.
Wow. Wow.
The weed, Dad.
Thanks for the weed, Dad.
It's good. Which I never.
Look at the kind of hits.
Thought I would see.
Look at the kind of hits she's taking.
Thanks for the weed, Dad.
Dude, that joint is all paper too. Like, you got to learn how to roll. God, look at her face, bro.
Gee. I know. I'm 39.
Oh shit.
9 years old, which I never.
Okay, hold on. I hope that red line goes away because I don't want to have to like. That joint is like all paper. It's
never thought I would see.
Hold on, I'm trying to get a good sort there. Oh fuck. Okay, never mind.
Never thought I would see.
Dude.
Thanks for the weed, Dad.
Thanks for the weed, Dad. Good shit. Look, that shit is all paper. Look at that. And it's, dude, listen. You get your grinder, okay? The voices give you a little weed lesson. All right? You get your grinder, put your weed in the grinder, okay? And then you get your paper, okay? I don't have any papers, but and then you fold just a little part of it and you lick it. You learn how to roll your joint. This way, you know, you can do this successfully. No shame in using a rolling machine or a dollar. I use a dollar myself. But you cut a little bit of the paper off because you want the shit to burn slow. Weed is expensive. Okay? It's expensive. All right? So you want this shit to go slow. Burn slow. And the trick to that is less paper. You want to be smoking more weed and less paper. Okay, you don't take a 1.5 paper and put fucking this much weed in it and then just smoke a big old paper joint. It's not what you do. And you don't thank your dad on your YouTube channel for the weed. Oh my God, dude.
Now my cat's a whore.
Look at how she smokes. Like the way that she smokes, like she's not even taking hits. Like, look at this. She's not even inhaling it.
Now my cat's a whore.
She's not even what a waste of weed. She doesn't even inhale. Look at this. I'm gonna play this one more time. Did you guys see that shit? She doesn't even inhale it. Watch closely. She just keeps it in her mouth and then blows it out. Dude. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it's like you're 12. It's like you're 12. Oh my God. Hold on.
People calling me a fucking scam artist?
Yeah, you're
and
a
I'm like,
scam
wait,
artist.
what? When I got fucking receipts for dates.
Really?
People coming and saying that I bought my fucking son's car
Really?
off of Marvon's name, or that I bought my son's car with money that was given to Letitia? Are you fucking insane? Are you forgetting that I am married to a financial person within international banking and within this country?
What?
Someone who is also a
what's a financial person? That's your husband's official job title, huh? Yeah, that doesn't sound shady as fuck. I'm married to a financial person.
PA, a financial person within international banking and within this country. Someone who is also a CPA.
What a fucking
someone
moron.
Who is up my fucking ass about taxes, clarity, everything being forthcoming, and wants to see everything, how I'm spending.
Hey, subscribe to Couch Clips. I just dropped a link in the chat. Let's get Couch Clips up to 1,000 subs, man. They're almost there.
Everything that is under the Molly Golightly expense account, how things are paid out, receipts for having to pay the I don't know, my illegal whatever, my housekeepers, right? Or my assistants, whatever. I'm paying them through Cash App. Fine. Fuck that. You think that I'm gonna sit in a house with Inspector Gadget right upstairs,
Inspector
right
Gadget,
fucking upstairs, and run a scam? No one will believe that. And the fucking, do you know what it's like to be called a scam artist? It fucking sucks. But especially when there's no fucking proof and nobody can fucking prove it. So you know what? I did what I was supposed to do. I apologize, sir.
Or Mr. Financial person is helping you get away with it. Or just saying, I don't know if that's the case, but could be.
Did I tell you I got remember the laundry basket that had the writing all over it?
No.
Okay. Well, they threw it out there the second time. Like you brought the laundry basket, then they the neighbors scattered the yard with the other laundry baskets.
Yeah.
And somebody brought a laundry basket that had writing all over all the spaces. I've got that laundry basket still.
Oh, wow. See, I've never taken anything from any of our, like some people think that.
Watch this, folks. This just made Couch Clips one of my favorite clip channels right here. Pay attention, folks, because I remember when this happened.
I took rocks from the Chris Watts house. Anything from any of our, like some people think that I took rocks from the Chris Watts house. I would never take a souvenir. I'm afraid to take a souvenir.
Yeah. Well, I didn't take it. It's because they threw it all in the dumpster and I went dumpster diving for Daddy.
You know what else? You know what else I do? Bull and Betty? I leave my sneakers behind in every town.
Oh my God, dude. So she leaves her sneakers behind in every town. But all she's complaining about how much these trips cost and whatever, but she could afford to just leave her shoes behind in every single town. But yeah, she didn't. That's obviously her, not her, in front of the Watts house taking rocks. Who also did this was Critical Cankles, canceled Karen. She did the same thing. And then took the video down. Well, actually, her channel got shut down. So, but somebody has a clip of it somewhere. She struck a channel that made a hilarious video about it. It's really petty of her to do that, but it was fucking great because it was hilarious.
Oh, no shit. I won't leave sneakers behind. I only got one pair.
Oh, carajo.
I got 15,000 flip-flops.
People, I always, every pair of shoes that we have done, heels on the ground, I've always left my boots there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, not
why.
I feel like I don't want it to. I can't give it any more attention than I already have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how fucked up that is? Like, you know how fucked up that is? Dude, you know how many fucking people are out there that can't afford shoes? Like, you know that you can donate shoes to charity. You know that, right? You know you could donate your shoes to Goodwill. Like, you know you can do that, right? And so you could just afford to just throw your shoes away. That's the biggest asshole thing that I've heard anybody say on here yet.
Yeah. Because eventually you go crazy on interviews. And guess what? I gave a Johnny Depp, because it was Vinny. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, whatever. We're going to do you a favor. Thank you, Vinny, for getting me like 900 followers in one fucking day. But guess what?
You know, when I'm live, I blow my nose sometimes. But I mute my mic and I put the screen full so you can't see or hear me do that. You know why? Because it's gross. Because nobody wants to fucking see it. Nobody wants to hear it. I think I slipped. I was on Hannibal and Monty channel the other night, and I think I forgot to mute my mic, and I blew my nose. But I mean, like, nobody wants to fucking see you blow your nose, dude, or hear that shit.
I did 4 days. 4 days at that Johnny Depp trial. We just sound like a bunch of fucking...
We're a hot mess.
Dude, so then Betty blows her nose. Like, she's not even on camera. Like, just, you can't mute your mic while she's talking. Just mute your mic for like a second and just blow your nose, bro. Like, what the fuck makes you think that we want to fucking hear that shit? These women are fucking slobs. Like...
I know. I can't. They can play whatever they want, and they are not giving her a penny. Anyone that thinks that they're paying share, no. Vinny told me, no. HLN does not pay. One of the problems between me, and I have her number right here, Ashley Banfield. One of the problems between me and Ashley Banfield is the fact that she was paying someone that was trying to say that they were having a gay affair with Chris Watts. And
now that's very interesting. For her to go live and say that's a hell of an accusation. Because I remember that. I remember the dude who came forward saying that he was a gay lover of Chris Watts. It got debunked. And as a matter of fact, I think it was Ashley Banfield that ended up debunking it. That ended up making it public that it was total bullshit. So why would she pay him to do that? That makes no sense. Like, you better be able to prove that. If you're going to accuse someone of that.
I accidentally leaked that on my YouTube channel. She ended up getting fired. That's the backstory.
You accidentally leaked it. Yeah, I believe that.
She does.
Let's see. Award-winning veteran journalist Ashley Banfield is the host of Banfield on News Nation. Banfield airs weeknights at 10 p.m., offering in-depth coverage of the day's top news stories. It also features Banfield interviewing newsmakers, politicians, and celebrities. Yes.
Not like me. She hates me. And then when I got back from
anybody who's a reputable journalist and hates Molly Golightly, I'm going to go ahead and put them in my cool book, because they obviously have probably a good reason for it. They probably have a really good reason for it. They're probably absolutely credible. Anybody who backs her up is not going to have any credibility with me. If Ashley Banfield was like, oh, I love Molly Golightly, I'm going to be like, you're trash. You suck. I'm never listening to a fucking thing you ever say again.
Gabby Petito. Her producer called me up and said, hi, Marissa, we got your number for him, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember who, but it definitely didn't give it to no Ashley Banfield. I go, I can't stand Ashley Banfield. And she goes, oh, really? Why? I said, because she's an asshole. But they said, no, let's keep it out. She just wants to ask you a few things and blah, 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 blah. She goes, we're going to send the camera crew to your house in Hershey at 10 p.m.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
I don't think so.
Bullshit.
I don't think so.
Marissa would never, ever, ever, ever turn down a television interview or an appearance to be on television. It would not happen. There's nothing about her personality that would indicate that she, and he's right, exactly. 10 p.m. Ashley Banfield is like, yeah, I'm going to get a camera crew. We're going to go out to Hershey and we're going to be at your house at 10 p.m. No, dude. Ashley Banfield is asleep, or she's getting her freak on or something, because she's got a life. There's no point in doing what Ashley Banfield does for a living and not have a life. And a good night's sleep is something that I'm pretty sure comes with that life. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So I'm sure that I could probably think of, hypothetically, on both hands, and then another set of hands, things that Ashley Banfield would rather be doing at 10 p.m. than talking to you. You are full of shit. Hold on. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Let me just go into, let's see what else we got here.
As we all witnessed, the world witnessed them, you know. Yeah, she went to treatment, and I said it on my channel last night, so I'll say it again. As we all witnessed, the world witnessed them, you know, media threw on, they were partying, and how terrible of them to be in Tybee Island. They were in Tybee Island because the protesters were there, and the law told them to get the fuck out because the pressure was building under that roof, everyone under that roof, right?
Right.
Not how, I mean, then you see them sitting outside. Well, yeah, outside, still fenced in their yard like a damn dog, right? So they go there with some friends.
Becky G, thank you. Will, as a man, you are you or any man you know attracted to loud, abrasive women like we're watching today? No. No. I'm trying to think of any of my friends. Now there was a time when we were all a certain age where we would settle, you know, we would settle for on a temporary basis for loud, abrasive women. Sure, but not at my age now. My age now, I want pure quiet. I just like quiet. I really, really enjoy peace and quiet. I hate arguing. I will be a dick to avoid an argument. I'll go that far where I will just, nope, nope, not gonna happen.
Friends.
Okay.
Well, that night, the person who alerted the media that they were there at Tybee Island has been in contact with me and regrets doing that, by the way. Says that Billy was a freaking mess while at that restaurant.
A mess?
And a mess, crying nonstop, that she was broken and hurt. I'll go through my emails again and post it again so people can see. She's the one who said she works at the restaurant and she was there that night, and that she was the one who reported to media. So she has since felt bad for that. Now that night, as we all saw Billy on the motorcycle, everyone's like, look at her party. I shared it last night. It's, you know, I haven't shared it before, but I knew that night I got a call from Billy crying, and she was like, I wanted to, her and Leilani were on the motorcycle together at one point, and I'm not kidding when I say she thought about taking them both out. I mean, yeah, trigger warning. Like, she had those thoughts and feelings. So while the world is all cussing them out and looks like they're partying, Billy's lost. She's hurt. She's confused. That's her daughter, but also in Billy's eyes, that's a monster that has something to do with her grandson missing. And so she was feeling all kinds of feelings.
Yeah, see, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't think it's fair to blame her necessarily for, you know, for what Leilani did to Quentin, but her character in all this is not somebody that I respect. Her behavior and the way that she's carried herself and handled herself. I'm talking about Billie Joe. It's definitely not somebody that I respect as a grandmother. Most definitely not.
She does have counseling now, so don't worry. But it's just, yeah, watching what the media has been doing, and then how close I got.
And I can't speak for Benny, but Benny's usually a pretty quiet guy, or a pretty loud guy, pretty talkative guy. But I'm getting the vibe from Benny, and I could be wrong. I don't like Plunder, Robert Berg. I think Plunder's full of shit. Benny, I'm getting the vibe that he's just he doesn't know what to do here. Like, I don't think he likes Billie Joe either. I would think that he wouldn't.
This one really pissed me off because there's just no faking it. There's going to be things people will see down the road again with Billie. You know, I can show you where she has every day begged law enforcement, come and pick up my daughter. Somebody needs to come and get her now. I don't know what is going to happen. And it was my fear, and I talked to you privately, if you remember.
So here she says, at the beginning of this, she says that the reason why Leilani and Billie Joe were at this bar getting wasted, doing shots, basically celebrating, was because of all the pressure. Law enforcement told them to get out of the house, and get away from so much of that pressure. Well, I mean, but why did they go together? You know, because here she is sitting here talking about all the times, because now she's throwing Billie Joe under the bus, or she's throwing Leilani under the bus now. And she's like, oh, well, you know, why, you don't know how many times that she's kicked Leilani out of the house and they've gotten mad and she's gotten mad at her and blah, blah, blah. But that still doesn't explain that in the heat of all of that madness, that they went out drinking together and having a good time, and then posting videos about it, posting videos like, like they're thick as thieves, man.
That there might be another loss in that house if they aren't separated.
For sure.
Okay, let's see what else we can find here. So, the latest I'm hearing about Betty, because Betty has been Betty, and I don't know if it's JLR or Dolly or what, but she's planning another trip. And she's like, I'm not going to tell you guys where. I'm not going to tell you guys, but if you want to donate, you can, right? Well, she recently announced what she was going to do. And what she's going to do is she's going to travel to Cabo, Mexico, to supposedly investigate the case that's taking place down there. The name escapes me. Everybody's talking about it. I know that Down the Rabbit Hole News is doing really good coverage of that. She's very bilingual, much more bilingual than I am. Her Spanish is way better than mine. And so she is translating, and she's actually had interviews with police officers there. So yes, thank you, Melissa Bell. I appreciate that. Shanquella Robinson. So yeah, so now they're sticking their nose in the Shanquella Robinson case. I wonder how Mexican police are going to deal with her bullhorn. I'm interested in that. I'm really interested in that. So yeah, really convenient that this next trip, this next case that they're going to dive into, is in a very, very luxurious vacation spot that her supporters are going to be footing the bill for. Oh man, if they go to Moscow, Mexico, or Moscow, Idaho, I'm gonna be so mad. I said Moscow, Mexico. I'm gonna be so mad about that. Let me get into this real quick. Show you guys this. So this is the latest statement from the City of Moscow Police Department. Go ahead and read this. And this is for all you people that are theorizing serial killer. I've been telling you guys to shut up, but this is for you. Moscow, Idaho, the Moscow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th in Moscow, Idaho. There have been numerous media inquiries about a 1999 double stabbing in Pullman, Washington, and the 2021 double stabbing with 1 death in Salem, Oregon. While these cases share similarities with the King Street homicides, there does not appear to be any evidence to support the cases are related. Okay? Now, that's not to say that they're not, okay, in all fairness, but they're looking into it. You're not sleuthing and coming up with anything that they're not coming up with. Community members have uploaded over 260 digital media submissions to the FBI link. To date, 113 pieces of physical evidence have been collected and sent to the Idaho State Police Crime Lab for processing and analysis. Governor Brad Little has directed up to $1 million in state of emergency funds for the ongoing investigation. Wow. The University of Idaho is hosting a candlelight vigil for Wednesday, November 30th, to honor the memory of Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee. The University of Idaho has established a Vandal family support research page for their students. And then there's the tip line. If you have tips, credible tips, 208-883-7180. At this time, no suspect has been identified, and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. There is speculation without factual backing, stoking community fears, and spreading false facts. We encourage referencing official releases for accurate information and updated progress. See these little releases that I keep going over? That's all you need to be listening to. Just for the record. Okay? They're letting you know. All right? So there's no suspect. And we encourage referencing official releases, being an example of an official release. Now, I'm going to go over somebody who has been begging for my attention lately, but wow. She's getting quite a amount of views on these. Her channel's growing. Yeah, some of you will find her familiar here.
Hi, guys. Come on in. Come on in.
Now, I haven't watched these yet.
Hi, Riley Rydell. Good gracious. I need to bring down a new chapstick.
She's always fucking putting chapstick on. It's the weirdest shit in the world.
That one's getting towards the end. You know, when you start getting towards the end and it's got like, you can.
Bro, look at her face, bro. Like, look at her face.
And feel the plastic edge rubbing against your lips. Ugh, can't.
Yo, Karen, don't you own a mirror? For fuck's sake.
Oop, I guess I better turn my volume down. Okay, welcome to the show. Come on in. Let's go. We're gonna go over some of these cases. Art of momming.
Oh my God, shut up.
In these tragic cases, some of them that we're gonna cover tonight. We're gonna jump into Delphi a little bit. Thing tangible and meaningful for the living, and that's just something I've always just intuitively we can have been visited upon them, but what we can do is we can do living. We cannot. I just simply believe that we have a responsibility with these cases to take them and transform them into something to help the living. We cannot bring the dead back. We cannot undo the tragedy. We cannot undo.
Is that right, Professor? Thank you.
Horrors, in some cases, the unspeakable horrors that have been visited upon them. But what we can do is we can take their tragic stories and we can transform them into something tangible and meaningful for the living. And that's just something I've always just intuitively.
Tangible and meaningful for the living. You mean like spreading lies about victims? Using manipulative tactics such as this right here to minimize a victim's tragedy?
Intuitively and instinctually believed. And I've always sought to find a way to impart that to others. And what better way than to use my ability as a writer, as a creative writer?
She's always saying that she's a writer. Always. She's never published shit, by the way. I mean, unless you count putting it on YouTube and reading it out loud in some weird, phony, fucking Karen voice, like a weird, patronizing Karen voice. That's what she does. Like, let's see if she does a monologue here. She always calls it a monologue. She's got a monologue. I'm gonna bring a monologue, and then whenever she finishes it, she always goes, "Okay, that's what I got. That's what I got." Like, and it totally just takes away from any fucking water it was holding at all in the first place. Like, she'll end this shit all dramatic. And that's why we as people and human beings have to come together to understand. All right, guys, that's what I got.
Creative writer. Sure, I could write true crime stories, and I might.
Shut the fuck up. You don't write anything. You are not creative.
I just still might. But for now, I'm easing my way back into it with the monologues because I really enjoy doing the monologues.
You've never easing your way back into what? That's what you've always done, because you only give a shit about the sound of your own voice.
It's kind of like a meal. I was explaining this to someone earlier today that I was talking to. It's kind of like cooking a meal, writing a monologue. I put a lot into some of them. I put 4 to about maybe 4 to 6, sometimes a little bit more hours worth of work into them. So it's kind of like gathering the ingredients for a meal, putting together a recipe, creating an outline, and then putting it all together in a really artistic way so that it reaches people, so that those words are put together and to form a meal for the mind. And then it's 16 minutes long. It's like eating that meal. You're done in half an hour or so. But you can keep going back and revisiting your monologue, unlike a meal, unless you have leftovers. You can keep going back and revisiting.
You mean like, I don't know, like if that meal is Alpo, maybe.
My monologue. So, and it's only $1. Now, if you can afford to support me with a little bit more, then of course I'm not going to say no. If you can afford $5-10 a month, then you're doing that out of the kindness of your heart. And whatever you feel that monologue is worth, however much benefit you feel you got out of it, you can tip me or send me. You know, I'm like everybody else. I'm pinching pennies right now, and I need help too. All right, let's jump right into what's going on with the University of Idaho slayings. And I want to start out with the dog filleting story. So what we've learned is back on October 21st, so roughly about 3 weeks before the quadruple homicide, and a few miles
a filleted dog? What the fuck are you talking about?
Away from the scene of the quadruple homicide, a 12-year-old mini Aussie Shepherd named Buddy. This is a privately owned dog. This was somebody's beloved pet. The owners,
as opposed to
let the dog out as
opposed to a publicly owned dog. Got it.
Do okay, as one does. You let your dog out. I let mine out morning and evening. They let the dog out sometime. They said like
we know you don't walk them.
Evening time, and they said Buddy didn't typically leave the yard. Was a pretty obedient and cute, so cute. You know, when you go and you look at the pictures of him, just absolutely adorable. He didn't come back, and which was worrisome for them because he had never done that before. So they, in essence, went out kind of searching for him, and unfortunately, I believe it was a neighbor found him, and he had been skinned from neck to his paws. And the way it was explained was that it was looked as though it was somebody who kind of knew what they were doing. They cut expertly around the neck and just proceeded to remove the dog's skin, obviously fur attached, and looked as though they had almost begun to attempt to fillet the dog, meaning cut into the meaty portions of the dog. And perhaps they were disturbed. Perhaps they didn't have time to finish the job.
See, all this bullshit. This is why she got kicked off of YouTube. Like, she's not even supposed to be on YouTube. She's just under their radar somehow. But she is totally not supposed to be on YouTube at all. She started a new channel, and her new channel is the same shit as her old channel, and she keeps doing the same shit because, I mean, she just can't change her stripes, no matter how hard she tries. And this is why she got booted off of YouTube, because here she is trying to spin some narrative that somebody's skinned dog is the same guy, which does nothing. It's nothing. It's just you're talking about you're talking about some gruesome shit about a dog getting skinned, which there's nothing by law enforcement that has even there's nothing by law enforcement that's been released that's saying that this is a sound theory in any way, shape, or form. And until that happens, but
they left the dog's skinned carcass. I mean, this is horrendous. And so, of course, law enforcement, the local authorities, Moscow police, have come out and said, well, we know of this incident and we have deemed that it's unrelated. And you know me, I respect.
Okay, yeah, this is the part where she says she respects law enforcement, but no, because sitting here and talking about a dog that was mutilated, somebody's dog, a member of like probably a kid's dog, and you're just talking about it, and here you are admitting that law enforcement has already, with all of the information that they've been generous enough to share with us regarding their investigation, they said that there's no evidence to put those two together.
Are men and women in blue, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they have their reasons for believing that this is unrelated. However,
but I'm going to talk about it anyway.
I have some various questions, serious questions, because number one, this is so bizarre. I don't think I've ever heard of this. Okay. In all my 50 years, I've never heard of a dog being a person's private pet being skinned and filleted and their carcass just being left for the poor owners to find. This is particularly gruesome, savage, and absolutely bizarre. And the owners of the dog relayed in an article to Fox News that one of the police officers that came out said, this wasn't an animal that did this. This was clearly done by human hand. So my question would be, is it not a crime in the state of Idaho to essentially abduct someone's private pet? And I keep using that word for a reason. This was a personally owned pet. Okay. This wasn't just a dog that was wandering. This wasn't a troublesome coyote
that was wandering,
that was eating some chickens. This was somebody's privately owned pet that had a collar on it that somebody butchered. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
Okay, so what's your point?
Would be, does the state of Idaho not have a law against this sort of thing?
Of course they do.
Have they, if they've ruled it out, if they've ruled it to not be related to the slayings of the 4 students on King Road, then how? Have they, the only way to my mind that they can officially rule it out is
she's saying nothing.
Saying they know who did it. And if they know who did it, why have they not been charged?
That's not that's not necessarily true. You see what she does here? Okay. She's saying this idiot is going, well, the only way that they could rule out the connection between the two of them is if they know who did this to the dog. First of all, maybe they do. Okay. Second of all, let's say they don't. Maybe a different knife was used. Maybe they're not connected in the sense because nobody, and excuse me for being crass here, but nobody was skinned and filleted in the house in Moscow. Okay. They deem it unrelated because it's unrelated. And who fucking cares? Like, what difference would that make? I mean, all it would be is just another charge on that person. If it's the same person who did the filleting of this dog, okay, then I mean, well, then that's just another charge. If they connect them, then it's another charge. Okay, so what? So what? But here's the thing, though. That would also, in theory, I don't know. I'm not a professional investigator. I don't know. But I would think that one of the reasons why they're not relating the two incidents, another reason why they wouldn't be, is because they believe that the 4 people, or at least one of the 4 people who were killed, was targeted, that it was a targeted attack. Skinning a dog in the neighborhood would be a random thing. It's an act of a random mad killer. Okay? This person was clearly, they believe it to have been very personal, and they believe that these people, or at least one of them, were targeted. So I would think that all of the reasons that I just mentioned, the difference in MO and the different points, the different ways the dog and the people were killed, and then thirdly, which is just theory, maybe a different knife was used. Maybe a different type of knife was used. You just don't know that. And Kay knows better than this. This is why I'm pointing her out. This is why I'm calling her out here, because she knows better. I know she knows better. What she's doing right now is just trying to be as gruesome as possible to attract shitty, fucking ghoulish ass people. That's all she's trying to do. She knows the difference. She knows that that law enforcement would have numerous reasons to consider them and deem these two incidents unrelated, besides them knowing who did it to the dog. They don't have to know who did it to the dog. You could find two murders completely unrelated and deem them unrelated and not know who either of the killers were. You can absolutely do that. You can absolutely do that. It happens all the time. So for her to sit here and say, well, they would have to know who killed the dog to deem it unrelated. Bullshit. And Kay knows better.
One would think that this would be against the law, that this would be something that they could charge someone for.
Of course.
I would also think that if they had a suspect in mind for this particular offense against this pet, you would think the owners would also know or would have a name associated to the offense. And it certainly...
Really? The owners are automatically going to know who filleted their dog automatically? Really? Okay.
My impression is the owners do not know who did this. They're just kind of left in the dark. And it's not like this was a year or 2 years ago. This was only 3 weeks ago. So this was a fresh occurrence 3 weeks prior to this horrible. And I'm not trying to equate.
Her face already looks like it's blurred.
The brutal.
Hold on. Let me find. Let's go over.
Old, of course. Come on in, everybody.
Oh God.
For an answer. So, all right, we've only got about 15 minutes. So before we do, let's get to the TikTok video. Let's watch it together.
She's only got 15 minutes, but it's a 2-hour live, guys.
You've been a bad boy. Oh my God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drop me class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it.
The girls are pretending to be one another.
It's 8. Gotta go. Jake's calling. Oh, Jake's calling.
Yeah. And how much you want to bet she's going to make a big deal out of this? Like, first of all, it's so abnormal, guys. It's so abnormal. Oh, Ken's counseling couch. Dude, I haven't seen you in forever, bro. It's good to see you, man. How are you? Let's see. The glare also from the psych perspectives. Ken's counseling couch is actually a licensed mental health therapist, a mental health professional. From the psych perspective, it seems unlikely someone escalates from skinning a dog to a 4-person homicide in a period of less than a month. Not typical development I'd expect to see. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. But how much do you want to bet what she's going to do here with this video is she's going to try to act all psychological and try to break it down all psychologically and shit. And there's really nothing to break down. There are 4 college kids who are roommates and they're making a TikTok video. I dare you to find me college kids who don't try to make TikTok videos.
Oh my God, I look horrid. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out. Hey guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but like, what would you guys do in my situation? Yeah, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta pull you out. They don't tell them already. You like a wine night? Like, let's just do a wine night. Yo, is it okay if I have a party? Like, just 3 or 4 people at most.
Do we got any? I know. Do we got any? Do we got an echo or anything going on?
God, just your fucking loud ass voice. We just saw this. Okay.
Okay, no, per law enforcement that the Labradoodle was indeed there. That the Labradoodle, okay, we got 12 minutes. We're waiting on 12 minutes. The Labradoodle was indeed there. And was collected after the horrible murders and was taken to animal control and then ultimately I know, cute name too, Murphy. The dog was then ultimately placed with a trusted person. The dog was handed over to a trusted person, and we know that the dog was there the night of the murders. And many people have asked, well, why didn't the dog bark? Well, we first of all, we don't know if the dog barked. Okay, the dog may have barked, and the roommates just may not have heard it. Again, we've talked about.
I actually agree with her on that.
You have to consider all the different crazy, weird possibilities.
Believe it or not, there are times where I actually agree with this idiot. Oh no, she didn't. Really? Wow. Oh man. Like, how stupid is she? Okay, let me read this. This is funny. I mean, it's not funny. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry you fell victim to this fucking asshole, but this is what she's notorious for. So Ken's counseling couch is saying, even had my own stream about Kay a few weeks ago when she called myself and Rakeda pedophiles, and that we needed investigated by the FBI, all because we read court docs. Oh, you must be talking about the Sophie thing. That must have been, yeah, she won't let that shit go. So yeah, anybody that defends Sophie in any way, shape, or form, and not necessarily defending her, but by just simply reading court documents, data regarding the case, that basically prove that Kelly Long needs more looking into. She's going to attack them and call them pedophiles. And it's really funny to me, guys, for those of you who don't know, okay, I will let you in on something here. Canceled Karen is currently being sued for $10 million, and she's going to lose. And as I always say, guys, Kay doesn't have $10 million. So, let's see, Claire, you've been aware of Kay longer than I have. She has represented herself as a therapist counselor over the years because I was able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt she never has been. She's said all kinds of shit. She's said all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, no, she's not a therapist in any way. She's an occupational therapist assistant by trade. And I don't even think she's doing that anymore. So right, Tamara Marie, that was exactly what I was getting at. So Kay is currently being sued for $10 million for doing exactly what she did to Ken and to Nick Rakeda. So she's being sued for $10 million for doing exactly that. And she just did it to a lawyer. Now, I don't know if Nick plans to engage. I doubt it. I'm sure he has bigger fish to fry. She doesn't have, she fancies herself an attorney. She thinks that she said herself that if she was representing Chris Watts, that she could have got him off. She said those words. So, we're talking about a delusional individual here. And the fact that she would defame and slander an attorney just tells me, it should tell you all you need to know about her.
Listening to music that they fall asleep to, or they may listen to podcasts that they fall asleep to, whatever. For whatever reason, either the dog didn't bark or the dog
and I wasn't, to be fair, I was saying that and then I got distracted, but she absolutely I do agree with her on that, because everybody's just like, I don't know, man. What about the dog? Why didn't the dog bark? Well, some dogs don't bark. Some dogs aren't even protective, but that's who's to say, like she just said, that the dog didn't bark and the roommates didn't hear it. Who's to say somebody didn't scream and the roommates didn't hear it? Who's to say what was going on in the roommates' bedrooms, where maybe they had AirPods in and they were listening to music, or God knows what? I mean, it's yeah. I have a stream saved where she said any male, no matter the context ever, talks about a female child's vagina is a pervert pedophile, basically. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Yeah. See, this is why, like, because I get a lot of shit over the whole Sophie thing, right? I get a lot of shit. I have a stream where I explain and show receipts, by the way, of what Kay's what her motive was in even getting involved in that case in the first place. I have receipts on that. She does not believe she does not believe that Sophie is lying. She just likes to call a little girl a liar, call her a brat, because it's controversial and it gets her more views. I know that she doesn't believe that. I know for a fact, as a matter of fact. But now, that right there is proof, because the fact of the matter is there was an aspect of that case and proof, and I've gone over it, where a nurse is talking to a police officer on police body cam footage and explaining that there is basically evidence of a venereal disease in a 9-year-old child. And so the reason why that was gone over is because it's fucking proof. It's proof that you have a nurse who is conducting a sane exam on a child, and she tells a police officer, I saw green discharge, which is basically proof that there's a venereal disease, and a child is not going to just get that. And so apparently, if you point that out, her argument after showing that proof, the argument that she goes to is, well, we're all pedophiles if we point that proof out. That's her logic. Just so you know the kind of person that we're listening to right now. Yeah, that's exactly true, Ken's Counseling Couch. That's all she wants. What she does is the whole reason she's being sued, right? The whole reason she's being sued for $10 million by a woman named Ray Andriacchio. She had a son. His name was Christian Andriacchio. Christian Andriacchio was allegedly murdered, according to Ray Andriacchio and his closest loved ones. And it was ruled a suicide. Now, the only reason she took that case on was because she was going after the person, the YouTuber, who created a very, very insightful and very hands-on short documentary about this case. And her name is Kendall Ray. Many of you may know her very well. She's got a very large channel, very large platform, very large following. And she's very insightful. She's very informative. She's very sweet. She's very kind. And she was very empathetic and went out of her way and went and traveled to wherever they live and was speaking and was collecting information and talking to people. And it became pretty, I mean, it was enough for me to go, man, the cops really need to be looking into this. You know, there needs to be some sort of outside, some sort of outside interference in this case, some sort of outside interjection here. And yeah, the documentary, that was Kendall Ray, man. She did that. She's great. And I even went over it at one point. But what Kay did was she went after Kendall Ray. And what she was looking for was to go the opposition to whatever she's saying and whatever she's doing. She wants to go that opposition, and it creates controversy. And she thinks that she's going to get into this back and forth drama with a very large YouTube creator and get some of her following, poach some of her viewers. And, you know, these larger creators, they're smarter than that. They know better than that. They're not going to fall for that, you know, and she's trying to do that with Nick. And that's what Ken's talking about here. Right, basically.
Bird barking. Perhaps the dog was in a kennel in another area of the house.
Basically.
And, you know, maybe that was, we don't know Kaylee's habits as a dog owner. Did she let the dog sleep in the room with her? Of course, the other possibility that we really can't ignore is potentially the dog knew the person. The dog was familiar with the person.
2 to 8% people. Now, this is a counselor, a mental health professional, an advocate for children, and he's a professional. 2 to 8% of child allegations of SA are false. That means 92 to 98% of child sex abuse allegations by kids are real. And I saw more than enough reason in Kelly Long's character, more than enough reason in Jake Bellington's character, and even Michael Long's character, where I believe this child. Now, think what you want about Michael Long, whatever your opinions are of him, fine. No problem. You're entitled to those opinions. He made himself a public figure. He did it in order to protect his daughter. I do believe that still to this day. I do believe that his intention was to protect his daughter. But he did make himself a public figure. And being a public figure and doing certain things, you're going to get criticism. It's just going to happen. And he's getting that criticism. It just is what it is. Now, as far as the evidence that I've gone over, and it's still up, by the way. I mean, you can go back and look at it. I have 911 calls of Kelly calling on Jake. Jake was even arrested for child abuse. And that just disappeared. It just disappeared. There's clearly evidence of the law working in Jake Bellington's favor. There's evidence of an off-duty police sergeant trying to intercept evidence from being taken that would support Sophie's claims. I have that recorded phone call of him trying to do that. Yeah, in all fairness, we have to be thorough here. Now, the stats change when parents make the allegations, but that's because of divorce, relationship issues, other mental health issues. I've said, but my career on the fact, but I've said I'd bet my career on the fact that SL was a CSA victim. Agreed. And that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a statement. Yeah. So, you know, I do believe, I hope that she's safe right now. My heart bleeds for her. The minute that Michael Long gets out of jail, I tried to find a way to be able to contact him, but he's very busy trying to. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I will say this, think what you want about Michael Long, but he does not belong in jail. He does not belong in jail currently. Does he deserve to have certain things, certain punishments? And yes, Tug did agree when he was covering it as well. Does he deserve to have consequences for certain actions? Sure. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to say that I feel that way, but I'm not going to argue with it either necessarily. But I do believe that he is unjustly jailed at the moment. He spent quite a bit of time in a Mexican jail on trumped up charges for being a trafficker, when I think they deliberately mixed him up with somebody else, and they just waited for the red tape to finally run out, or to catch up, I should say. And then he gets transported back to jail in Texas, and he's still in jail. And this is a guy that, in my opinion, was just trying to protect his child, and I saw no reason to think otherwise.
Person, we absolutely cannot rule out the fact that the killer could be known to the person, could be familiar with the layout of the house, could be familiar with the dog. I've postulated myself that the killer could be an expelled student, or a student that has been suspended from the school. I suppose that could also mean a student that's been suspended or expelled from a fraternity associated with the school. The student could be a spurned, a rejected amorer, somebody who had affection for one of the girls that wasn't returned. And on that note, and exactly, Humanimal, they're not exactly, Labradoodles are not exactly great guard dogs. And in the wake of this, I've done a little bit of reading about, do dogs really bark? I mean, people think we live in a Hollywood movie. We don't necessarily. Dogs don't always bark. Go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to scroll. We're going to go to 343. And there's our girls. Let's back up just a little.
See, all of this is irrelevant. And she did this live stream. Let's see.
I was able to sit down. So
2 days ago.
Yeah.
All of this is irrelevant.
Oh, it's pretty fun, honestly. Very, very rarely are they not, and then somebody in their group is usually apologizing for them.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't make up for it, but like.
No, it's amusing though. It's fun to watch other people.
So here's our girls. They come in the scene with him.
Welcome back.
And he stands back while they order, takes his hat off, puts his hat back on.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This dude was already cleared by law enforcement. This dude was already cleared.
Okay. Oh, yep. So what you want to do is we'll actually do this. There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, Annie.
Critical thinking demands you consider, like, he's got to know that this is
Critical thinking demands you use your brain.
Streaming on Twitch.
And you listen to
He's
law
got to be
enforcement.
aware of it. I would wager a guess that the guys who operate the grub truck make patrons aware of the fact that they're filming, streaming.
Oh, that's okay. That's good.
$10.
And that it's being, aired live in real time on Twitch.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
5 minutes, so the presser.
Go, guys. Where's my pen? How are you guys doing? I'm doing fantastic.
So they've ordered and they've walked over now to this area.
So this is her covering the presser that happened. So remember, in the first, not only the first presser that they did, which was a couple of days prior to this one, they cleared this guy. They did it publicly on their webpage. They've gone over it many times where they said, we do not believe that the person in the white hoodie in the video has anything to do with this crime.
Area. You can see them now
But
in
here
the
she
bottom
is
left-hand corner.
pushing it and pushing it.
Definitely.
And he's still just kind of standing there. They're not really engaging with him.
It's one, but they're like 6 to 7 ounce tacos. They're not like small little street tacos. I normally eat 2, 3 is a lot for me.
So one would be fine if I'm getting or
yeah, that's gonna be almost 2 pounds.
I better get.
Okay, you got it. 2 pork tacos, done.
And you can see Kaylee just
1 5 cheese,
focused on her phone.
2 pork tacos,
Maddie is standing on the edge of the food truck, presumably waiting on her food, kind of watching the guys cooking. The bigger guy seems like just a jolly fellow. He's talking to everyone, making small talk with everyone. I mean, you could kind of imagine the scene.
If we decide, since we
I put Ken's Counseling Couch's channel in the chat, so go ahead and sub to him.
Absolutely, thank you. How are you doing? I'm doing extremely well. That sounds good.
So Maddie is standing by the pickup window where people pick up their food. And if you keep your eyes on the guy in the hoodie here in the background, he seems to be making small talk with some people, but is really kind of a loner.
Yeah, to give you guys a little bit, like Ken's Counseling Couch, it's not like where you know, I mean, he shares his professional opinions, but it's not it's basically kind of like just having a conversation with a counselor if you're just kicking back and, you know, having a dinner party, you know what I mean, and just talking to the dude like he's a dude. You know, he's going to talk to you that way. He's not, you know, spinning his practice. He's just sharing his professional opinions on certain things, and he's, you know, things that he feels very personal about. So personally, that's the kind of content that I would prefer to hear from a professional such as an attorney or a mental health professional.
Owner kind of standing on his own.
There's Mountain Dew and order 80. Thank you very much.
3 minutes till the presser.
2 chicken burritos with extra slaw.
2 chicken burritos.
So, I mean, what is the point of her showing this then?
Kaylee, again, still has her back to the guy.
The guy's not even paying attention to her. The guy is talking to
I know I have a
this large, robust gentleman.
It's interesting because when you watch the entire thing, neither girl ever interacts with him. Now the heavier set guy engages hoodie guy.
Order 81. Thank you.
And they start to engage in small talk then.
Extra slot? Is that a charge?
I'm gonna fast forward through the presser.
And Kaylee is on her phone. And at no point do Maddie and Kaylee engage this guy. And, you know, it kind of seems to me like the jolly, happy guy, the heavier set guy, maybe takes pity on him or something and says, well, I'll make small talk with him. And we'll get back to playing that in a moment. However, police have reiterated, no, we do not believe he's a suspect. We do not believe anybody in the...
Like, now you acknowledge it? After the third public statement?
Involved in the 911 call, because there's a lot of confusion about the 911 call. Who made it? Why did it say an unconscious person versus, oh my God, there's tons of blood and it looks like people are dead, right?
Now, somebody told me that it's very common, like as a dispatcher. I think they told me that they were a dispatcher. And so, because what happened was, it's not necessarily that the person who called 911, done with her, the person who called 911 said that the person was unconscious. What this person cleared up for me was they said that they're a dispatcher and they use unconscious when they dispatch the call out to law enforcement and to EMTs, fire departments. It's an unconscious person. So that makes perfect sense to me. That makes absolutely perfect sense to me. So we're assuming that a unconscious person was reported by the 911 caller when we have to consider the likelihood that they probably called and said, hey, they're not moving. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, help. And then they dispatched, hey, we have an unconscious person. And that way there's haste. There's that much more haste. Somebody could be revived. Somebody could be brought back to life. Subconsciously, the person who's taking the call is like, I can get there. I can get there in time. I'm gonna help this person. And this is stuff Kay knows already. Like she fucking already knows, dude. But yeah. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me. Maybe I'll go live again later tonight. I don't know yet. If not, maybe tomorrow. But and absolutely, if there's any updates on any of these cases that we're talking about, then we'll go over them. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for all your support. I appreciate you. I appreciate the likes. Make sure to like this video if you did so. Hit the dislike if you didn't. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Guys, I love you very, very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.